Hi, it's Marlene Keys from keystoLawOfAttraction.com. And there was a time not so long ago when we couldn't turn on the TV or read a newspaper or scan our Twitter feed without coming across some story about how our politicians were behaving in a ridiculous fashion. And this can make us angry or can make it upset or fearful when the leaders of our country are behaving in ways that are downright unscrupulous. And it's worrisome. And I call that contrast. Because contrast is anything that doesn't feel very good. So when someone isn't nice to you, that's contrast. Or when your boss isn't happy with the way you're performing, that's contrast. Or when your body isn't looking or feeling the way you want it to, that's contrast. But you know something? Contrast is essential. Yeah, contrast is essential because without some contrast, we'd never know what we would prefer, or we never have to make a decision. We never know what it is we want. But the key to observing contrast is to observe it briefly and to use it to gain clarity about the way we want things to be. So for example, when someone isn't nice to you, you wish they were nice to you. Or if you're not nice to someone, you wish you had behaved in a nicer fashion. Or if your boss isn't happy with the way you're performing, you wish that she were happy with your performance. Or if your body isn't looking or feeling the way you want it to, you wish that you had a healthy, happy body. So you see, contrast is essential because it helps you to get clear about the way you want it to be. But the key is to observe contrast briefly. To observe it briefly to help you birth that clarity. Now, all these examples I've been giving you are individual examples of contrast, but what we're experiencing on the political front is contrast at a global or a national level. But this can be exciting because when contrast happens on a larger scale, if we can get the masses to use that contrast and to turn it into a more positive discussion about the way we want things to be, then I think we become more powerful and we can become more instigators of change. So the next time you find yourself reading something or maybe involved in a conversation about politics or maybe even writing something about it, instead of beating the drum of what is, I would ask you to consider turning the conversation to one that is more conducive to the way you want things to be. So for example, start talking about how we want politicians who are intelligent and we want politicians who are moral and how we want politicians who are able to act on the best needs of their constituents. And I believe when that sort of conversation starts happening on a larger scale, then change will start to happen. And that's how we as individuals can go from feeling powerless to feeling more powerful. Now, so I don't often talk or write about politics because I know it can be very controversial. So I need your feedback. What do you think about this video? Do you agree or disagree? Please leave me a comment in the comment section below. I'd really like to hear what you think. And again, it's Marlene Keys from keystoLawOfAttraction.com.